We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be willed by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity.
A very good morning to our viewers around the world in Abuja. My name is TOPSY GIMBA. You're welcome to the program Issues on ASO Television. ASO TV is on DSTV channel 392. We are also on social media handles where you watch us wherever you might be. This program is an interview segment where we look into issues around Nigeria and even outside the country to ensure that things work in the way they should be. This morning, long before this time, as we are seated this morning, we had been talking about area council selection in the FCT. I remember we got prepared for this process of this civic responsibility for a very long time, where those who are contesting for various elected positions were invited to speak to us on what they intend to do. This particular segment is gone. Today we are celebrating the winners. Saturday, indeed, we saw the residents of Abuja trooping out in their numbers to various places where they got themselves registered for this civil responsibility. Of course, we were told by AMAC that we had 1.6 million people registered. But I wouldn't know whether the same 1.6 turnout for the election, you all know that there might not be the same thing like the way they registered. But of course, the turnout was impressive, despite voter apathy in some given polling units. But at the end of the day, we had a peaceful conduct of area council election. And today we are celebrating. It is on that note that ASO Television decided probably to be the first television to invite those who want to speak to us, so that those who are watching us right now should basically know where we are and where we are really going. Of course, I'll be speaking because already seated with us in the studio, a respected man, young man indeed, who has been up and doing, campaigning for the AMAC chairman in the person of Zaka Christopher Mekalangu to ensure that he was re-elected, and we saw that really happening. A youth leader of AMAC Youth President in the person of Mr. or Comrade Robert Ash Obede. It's a pleasure having you on ASO Television.
Thank you, Chief Gimba.
I can see your eyes are looking sleepy.
It's a bright Monday morning.
Yes.
And I want to use this avenue to thank the residents of AMAC and the good people of AMAC for coming out in mass to vote for the continuity and the get together mantra of Honorable Zaka Mekalangu. This victory is for grassroots governance, and this victory has shown that there is grassroots presence. There is a governance in the grassroots, because if you look at the numbers that troop out on Saturday, the numbers seems to be mainly from the grassroots voters, because now they have not seen more reasons why they should get involved, and this is what we've been pushing. Understand? If a shaman or a elected officer is doing well, the level can repay him back is to have a return. I want to thank the residents of AMAC and the people of Abuja for coming back en masse to vote for the candidates of APC. I told you one of the program before, I said initially it was 3/3, a 3 for APC, 3 for PDP, but we are going to improve, and that our results are going to show from our effort to put on ground. And it's everything when the result will be announced. It pleased my heart that all our efforts was not in vain, and that President Tinubu's efforts with the agenda to trickle down development to the grassroots is being manifested at the polls by the way of our victory. Thank you, AMAC. Thank you, Nigerians.
AMAC Youth President, Robert, can you just tell us, is there a comparison between what we saw on Saturday and what we've been having previously when it comes to election FCT, particularly AMAC, whether there was a decline in terms of people coming out to express their franchise as citizens or residents of the FCT in that last election, looking at what happened and what used to be in the past?
No, yes, it's true. The number that came out to vote was unprecedented. You know, if you check the voters, the continuous that went on, you are following the trend, and I keep keeping tab with the opponents, and I keep informing you of the figures that it has tripled, and those numbers actually
tripled in the registration or triple in vote.
No, what we have in vote is double.
Okay.
Because the last election, the winner won with 18,000 votes. Okay. But this time he won with 40,000 votes.
Okay.
That means democracy is being entrenched in the grassroots.
Okay. And the total number that declared him winner this time was how many?
40,272 votes.
Wow, quite a very massive one indeed.
Exactly.
To what extent can you now say that he actually got the support of the youth? Looking at the voter apathy, we notice some given polling units.
You know, politics is being
and I ask you this question because I know you are the president of AMAC Youth Leader. How did you mobilize people to come out like the way they came out, despite what is being said today, apathy all through?
No, the voter apathy, as a political strategist, what we see out there is that the elite residents refuse to come out and mass to vote.
Okay.
And what the strategy the APC approach towards the election was that we went to seek the vote of the grassroots electorate. So APC, it was only APC that was widely spread in this day of campaign. As at Wednesday night, I bet you that our chairman was all over the city center and even the Gariki village, which have over 32 villages. And I visited there against all odds. Because he knows.
So the chairman, the man that has won, you mean?
Exactly, chairman, yes. The elected chairman of AMAC.
Yes,
the elected chairman of AMAC, the president of Chris Nagamakilegu.
He was all along.
He was all along. He was reaching out to the grassroots voters, he was reaching out to the grassroots communities, and all came out en masse to show their solidarity with him with votes. If you look at the votes that came in, the urban settlement did not come out really to vote. And these are the issues that we'll be discussing.
A kind of movement, restriction of movement was declared to allow those who were to cast their votes were expected to go to their polling units of where they registered and then to do that. What brought about that?
The movement restriction. Abuja residents are not that kind of conventional states where you declare a country when they have federal agencies going to the office. You say you declare institution movements for the FCT workers. How about the federal workers? The authority? No. So that is like a decoy. Which people rely on and said because the minister said. That's why we cannot come out to vote. It's not true. Even in that election, when the country was declared, people were moving all over the place. If you go to all the streets, all the clubs and outlets, everybody are there enjoying themselves. They see it as an excuse to just have the way catch phone elsewhere. So if you are coming out to vote the next morning, they were all over they were in their bed sleeping. And me that reached out to the grassroots voters electorate actually got the numbers of them. It's a strategy that ABC applied, and they said we are deliberate and intentional on getting people out to go and vote for candidates. And this result now is a litmus test to what we see and what will happen in 2027 elections.
Yes, 2027. That the FCT election prepares the minds of Nigerians. What might likely happen.
Because if you look at the numbers that came out, you know, there were times I've talked about the coalition. They're just optics. Yes. Being there as well, but no strategy, no formation. The only mission and vision they have is to remove President Tinubu. The general purpose that if you want to remove a president that's performing, yes, you bring a better manifesto or vision that can get him off the streets. And
I think with the amendment of this new law, Electoral Act 2026, they are no longer going to do indirect, they will do direct. It's only like option A4. Like for instance, if people want to vote me or vote for you, they will queue behind you. So it's going to be much easier than using the delegate kind of system where somebody who does not even know you are feeling. Now he's called from Kaduna, from Jama local government to come to Abuja and to determine your fate for you, who is going to be your leader in the name of being a delegate. Now this time around we are going to queue based with the amendment made by the National Assembly and signed into law by the President, which is called 2026 Electoral Act. Inside one of the clauses or the section is saying that they have jettisoned the idea of indirect. They have brought up the idea of direct. So it's going to help to determine the feelings of Nigerians who actually want this to happen. So do you foresee? But let me get back to the election of the area council election with you. Now, are you not afraid with the close marking, some of these parties like ADC, PDP got closer to you?
They were not clear from the votes. The vote the second one which is ADC got was 2,000 votes. We got 50,000.
So because okay.
We got 2,000. We got 40,000. That is we tripled our vote. This is how to even make our work even easier. That means approaching the 2027 election, we have two or much work to do, and we're going to do that more and enforce democracy in the grassroots and good governance in the grassroots by actually coming out in the more to vote for APC candidates and the person of President Government.
In your own assessment as president of Nigeria, president of AMAC Youth, do you see? Is it the person of Mekalango or the party that brought about this result that we are talking about this morning? Is it the result, from the people, that the APC, the result that you got 40,000, whatever you said, is it the person of Mekalango or the party that brought about this result?
It's a collective effort of all. As the president in the center is trying his best to encourage good governance, even our elected officers too are intentional too, in taking development to the grassroots. So if you hear the speech of the party chairman, Professor Natari, he said what has happened in every election is to show that President Tinubu has really touched the life of non-indigenous people and has taken the governance to the grassroots by people coming out the more. So this kind of result will reflect the result of the 2027 election.
The fragile coming out of people that finally led to what we are describing today as voter apathy. Do you know the reason as to why they didn't come out? Can you tell us the reason or reasons? Is it because they don't like the government of Tinubu, or is it because area council election, so they don't have a stake in it? Or is it because people are suffering, so then there's just no need to keep wasting time? Let me go and open my shop and stay there and see whether I'll get 1 or 2 cobbles like that.
I'm a realist. As at Saturday morning from 10 o'clock, because I won a supervisory tag, so you allow me to have access to have people's view and why they're not voting. Do you know, as that even with all the testifying effort would be to electing them for 2 hours to the election, that we have elections on Saturday. Maybe to come out of mass and vote for the candidate of the choice, but preferably vote for the APC candidate because they are doing well and they are doing more for the people of no, for the president of FCT. What I got was I was shocked. I visited some polling units and I will see 10, 17 voters as at 11 a.m. in the morning. And these are simple units. They are brought out numbers in less close election. Yes. They are brought out over 700 votes for candidates in the election. As at 11, only 17-15% when they won. Were on the queue. In this country, there was no queue. You come and vote and go. So I started walking around the residents. I asked them, why are you coming out? They only interested in what's happening at the local level. And the same politics is local. This is the government that affects you directly. When the government center has formed a policy, these are the people that implements it. Come and encourage this government to support this government for continuity. They were not seen anywhere. Some of them were legitimate. They were not even sure if there's an election that they cannot find the polling units.
Yeah, because I was to ask, what was the response from them?
Yes, exactly.
When you went out to
I said no.
Looking at their doors to ask them to come out.
But I said,
what was their response?
But I said, you took a walk. You were able to walk from a over the meter. You saw people gathering. You saw police officer. You saw health officer. You saw banners. You go and ask what is happening here. Nobody asks. Listen, it's only when it demands them to form an undiluted coalition to say they want to win a certain government. They say to people not to come and vote. You know, I've said it before now that most people get this voters card identity as means of identification. The time they remember to vote is during a presidential election. But I told them that government the stages, and the one that affected more is even the government chairman and the councillorship election. Come out and join, make them together and develop this government in this level. You will not see them coming out. I was amazed, and that was what actually helped the APC to win more, because we actually met the rural electorate. We carried them more, we met them and told them the reason why to come out and vote in the numbers, and the reason why their vote should not be cross carpet. They should vote for one party and the party is APC. And you see that happening. From the numbers we got, collect together, that's how we're going to arrive at the numbers, the numbers of victory. It would have been a different scenario if there were more numbers of non-indigenous people coming out to vote. Understand? But the voter apathy is because it's not because they are not informed. It's because they felt the government and local government level don't have the ability or nothing to give back to them. So okay, that was the time. They prefer to go and sit in the comfort of their in their room, or go and sit in the comfort of a place and relax and watch artist trend. And if you see, most of these people are the ones inviting the politics of social media. Listen, there's some results going around on social media that they mutilated result sheets. Those things are highly generated. It's not true. Understand? I follow the trend, and I never check the existence of those things. I follow that they are generated. They were the one that didn't go out to vote. They were the one that have gone out to social media to overhit the polity. We've told them before now. This is the government that affected them more. Understand? And you've seen that these people are being. It came to a point they were even mistaking the project the AMAC chairman is doing with what BK is doing. Understand? Even if you go is doing projects for the new agenda. I said this chairman elected, he has done better for the people of people. People call and support them more. That was why we were able to encourage the aggressive voters to come out in the numbers and support the candidature of Sekaba Kalegu, and he came out victorious in the election. And I bet you this number will triple in this coming election, because the strategy of the opposition has been revealed, and what they intend to do is coming to light. They are not on ground. They don't have strategy. They are just in the optics. They're just on social media. They're just in the news of ethnic polity, and we are on ground to match them part to part moving forward.
So I ask you this question on this voter apathy because I stayed here throughout the election period, from 8 till 3 o'clock, where 2:30 was said to be the last time anybody will now come to be accredited. most information that we received from our reporters who were all over the 6 area council covering this event, people were complaining that they migrated their polling units or their names to some other polling units, and by the time they got to where they have been designated to vote, they discovered they were not there, and where they're supposed to vote at that time, they were finding they couldn't get. That was what some people were saying on that particular day. To an extent, I want you to understand, to an extent that opposition party are putting compilation of these erroneous mistakes said to have been made by INEC. I wouldn't know whether it was INEC that did that or some persons who are working for APC to emerge that the way it has marched, they did what they did, so that at the end of the day, people who believed to be in a strong support in some strongholds or some individuals were migrated from those polling units they knew very well to another one or to some other ones.
I'll give you scenario.
And so because they now when they identified, they now lost out the confidence to try to vote.
Remember, I'll give you a scenario. Before now, the polling units were created from the mother polling units. Understand?
Yes.
The same scenario you observe now, I observed it.
Okay.
But I was able to locate my polling units.
Okay. You mean you are migrated?
I'm migrated. Let me tell you, it's not the migration was deliberate. Understand? Mm-hmm. It's not even up to 200 meter from the mother polling units. Understand?
But how will they do that?
No, let me tell you what happened. When they were disbursing the materials,
sensitive materials,
the material of the election,
yes.
Understand? And that morning before 9 o'clock, they actually add polling officials to go to those polling units. When they manned those polling units for over an hour or two, and voters were not coming, they now collapsed the polling units. They now move those points to the mother points so that the police and the security agency will be secure it more. Because they now saw that the voter apathy, the people were not dropping out as expected.
That brought those units
together at the mother polling unit. Exactly. So I woke up with my family. My wife, my househelp, and everybody. I put them in the car, said, let's go and vote. Knowing that I was going to vote in my polling unit, which I knew.
By then you got there.
They were not there. And I asked question. I said, what is happening? And now I drove 100 meter. I saw the INEC official. Then I explained to me why they did that. That so, and I said, I'm this polling unit number. Where is my polling unit vote? They showed me. Actually, most of the polling unit around the mother polling units
yes.
were clustered in one particular place because of voter apathy. Yes. So they did that to be able to make the process transparent. So that some people making advantage of the scenario.
Transparency this time around. I was expecting, if you knew that a particular unit had excess number of voters and you needed to create, migrating them so that you have fewer people in a particular place and fewer people in a particular so that they can vote easily. That process ought to have been done much earlier.
No, this process I'm telling you
much earlier
happened in the last election. You don't even know that happened. Those units were created before the presidential election. You know me? Mm-hmm. And because of the voter apathy,
yes.
They now return those voters back to the cluster where they used to vote in the numbers before. Means I'm telling you that when I get there, they will not less than 50 persons on the queue.
Yes.
Of where you can get over 700 voters.
You wouldn't know if they came and they didn't find their names.
No.
Because it's one thing. Listen, you decided to ask question because of the level of you are an elite and you're equally a leader, a stakeholder in this AMAC chairmanship kind of a thing. So you actually want to find out basically what brought about all this for you to find out that you are told that you weren't here, you were in this place and you said to go there. And you now discover as well that they realize that people were no longer coming. They now collapse them to a particular area. So that even if you are not in B, C, A, C, 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 D, that kind of a thing very close to you. But you wouldn't know whether some other person had come earlier and they discovered this abnormally. And they went back home.
No. The scenario is that if I'm giving you a sense of 100 meter 100 meters from where we sit now, December,
yes,
is where my car is parked.
100 meters.
Don't tell me that you come to this point, you don't see my polling unit. I stretch your head up. I see people waiting there. You don't go there and ask them and say, have you
never seen somebody that be sitting very close to something and then you call his child or his herself, we need this thing, to move further away from where he had earlier to move? Those things are very complex.
Those kind of electorate are not intentional and deliberate. That's what I hear from you.
Did they tell the opposition? Did they tell the opposition that they will do what they do?
Yes, they are here. Because I met the agent of all the opposition parties in the same spot. I even asked them questions and I made sure that they were properly dressed and they were tagged on. And I said, I found that all the agents of all the parties, they were on ground. It is a friendly scenario. I've not seen our INEC make election easy, like they make easy in this Abuja, in this election. It's a friendly scenario. The evidence within the polling unit was quite accommodating. And people were freely, and the security agencies were doing their work amicably. There were no instances of impasse. We were there to the ground. I saw this scenario and I went around to educate the residents that would be the same. People should go and vote. This is the time you have to change the government. You don't have to be criticizing official media or overtaking the polity by making some suggestions that are not real. Now go and vote now. People are seated there. That probably somebody will come and approach you and encourage you to come and say, no, this is your civic responsibility. You need to go and do it. And I found that these numbers will not change even before the Senate sorting the vote. I was shocked how Abuja resident thinks that with this kind of misbehavior on election day, they'll be able to change a government that's performing, like the person of Zika Mekalangu and President Bola Tinubu.
Okay, talk about Christopher Mekalangu. Why are you so much in depth into him? Who is actually Mekalangu to you?
Mekalangu is a servant leader. Mekalangu is the definition of what the Bible said. When the righteous is in power, the people rejoice. Understand? It's somebody that is down to earth. It's easy to do it. It's accessible, and he has the people at heart.
As the people selective, when the righteous are in power, the people enjoy. And these people that enjoy, are they selective, or all of us supposed to enjoy?
We are enjoying. Even Gimba, we are enjoying. You took a dad to be to office today. You saw the security of government properties. You saw how Abuja is peaceful. And there is no intentional government, intentional officer in place. The city will have been in chaos. But what they're not seeing, that is enjoyment. Understand? That you are able to move from point A to point B and carry out your activities. It's enjoyment. It's not selective. It's a broad leadership he has brought to my people. I want that instigate him to be this down to earth and this kind of leader. I know is the approach of the opposition party, because they oppose the election with betrayal, with blasphemy, with what is not. Understand? If you say you have the numbers, you have the structure. If you are prepared, let's get to the pool. Why going around to overeat the policy? And how can you leave a non-indigenous candidate and go and vote for a resident that does not even rooted in a city? So we decide that we need to show solidarity to this
city as your weapon.
No, it's not ethnicity. This is the government that they have. Understand? All we need to do is to encourage them, and make sure that they are yearning, to get properly integrated into the capital. It's being carried out. All we need to do is to encourage them and make sure that they achieve these goals. That's why we are always behind them to show solidarity and support them in every of their.
So what will you want Mekalangu to do now that he has been re-elected for another set of 4 years? What will you want him to do as a blueprint?
They are policy formations.
Because you are the president, AMAC president, youth leader.
there are positive formations that is on ground.
Yes.
It's a continuous process. Understand? There are projects that are ongoing. So imagine if he was removed from he was not elected, how will these projects fail? So we are encouraging him to continue
Yes.
with this project to completion and implement a realistic share program that will affect the life of individuals in this
But often than not, people say that those who are concluding their terms, like in the case of Mekalango, if he's sworn in, now that he has won, and if he's sworn in, he's actually doing the last term, constitutionally he can't come back again. Some people are of the opinion that this is the time he will be harvesting what he lost in the first time for himself. Is this true?
That is the notion for people that don't have political ambition or future after a certain term.
Okay.
But I know my leader,
He has an ambition.
the president of Mekelewu, has an ambition to continue to bring down development to the people and residents of Abuja. I know that after this election, he will not do things that will mar his chances to become electable moving forward. So it will be on ground vis-a-vis those projects he said he's going to implement. We will encourage him to implement it. We will work with him. We pray for him and guide and advise and give advice on where we can give advice. I'm going to implement it. Reminding him that whatever we do moving forward will affect you as a person as being electable in subsequent election. So keep up the good work. Let's not be like a decoy, like other leaders do, to not perform. But it's something that is deliberate in his governance, and he's going to drive it to the grassroots, even in a more larger scale.
You said the number increased. Is it because the presence of Minister Wike, who in his time appointed a minister of the FCT to where he is today, he has been doing a lot of projects that some people that are looking for elected position are hiding under the project and maybe campaigning as if they were the ones doing it, so that at the end of the day the number increased to that 40,000 people that voted for your party. Was it what happened?
No, what happened is that remember the progressive. What we are is that we are policy architecture. Our policy architecture is that let's give the governance to the people, and the only way you can give governance to the people is to carry out projects.
Yes, like the way the minister is
doing now. That will be seen, and I will see that the government is intentional and deliberate to drive the sustainable projects that can change and ameliorate the suffering of the people. So that is what the Senator did.
So his president,
the new hope agenda is all about. So UK is representing the president and he is representing it to the leader. So his presence and connecting with what the chairman are doing is what is getting the people more involved in politics in the grassroots. Because the grassroots now, there was a point where we went for campaign, and one of the local chiefs, he said before now, if he was called to come for a meeting in the Homan, his cars and his attire would be dusty. But now, he drove on a third road looking clean. He drove on a third road for over 14 kilometers. And this was done by the local government chairman. Yeah. So he said, why wouldn't I support this kind of leadership? Listen, you can see people's testimony. When he said, I will get you to do a documentary to see how they are affecting people's life genuinely in the grassroots, and how the renewal agenda of the president is being implemented by all the leaders elected of APC. And standing up to do
as soon as he is sworn in, ASO radio and television might be going around to check some of these projects, so as we will be airing those projects in collaboration with some of you. You take on some of these projects so that we'll air them and see whether or not what you have said is what he has done and is going to still do. So as a way of concluding this program, Comrade Robert Ash Ogbede, AMAC Youth President. Say thank you to most of these boys that really came out, because through your effort they came out and the number jumped to 40,000.
Exactly.
As a voter.
I present the youth constituency as the AMAC youth leader, and my youth have never disappointed me. Understand?
Yeah.
To know that they see a leader that is liberal and is and I have a listening ear and give to their hearing. There were events that were carried out. There are things that I did personally to encourage my youth to come out their numbers. And these are things that I'm going to, is a strategy which I'm ready to even implement more for President Tinubu to win this 2027 election, to be an election as president. Now we are on ground, we don't want an opposition that is not that will not have the structure, that all the mission or vision is to come out with the president. If you have a policy for mission, bring it. Let's have a debate.
Okay.
Understand? If I felt the APC is not doing well today, understand? I have the liberty to say I'm joining the opposition to make sure to come through. But I've not seen a blueprint that can change the narrative of what the president is doing. So we are encouraging more people to support President Tinubu and our chairman, Busaka Mekelebu. Listen, you will see more people deflecting. We are approaching the Congress, and we will be united and stronger the more after the Congress. And APC, good as I said, there's a policies amendment in the system. Yeah. Those things were done. If you remember the SDP and NRC era, the election, they keep their election over. This is a to take the politics back to
the people,
not to money back politicians. Those who call the Keramas good politicians. That era is gone. We are here to be realistic, to be deliberate, and to be intentional with governance. And we are going to do more for the people under the progressive mantra than whatever coalition is being formed to win the president. Our president will be elected with a large number this time, and our head chairman in the AMAC, please, I seek indulgence to say to the resident of Abuja that APC won 5 area council. Yeah, 5 area councils. And PDP won't go well. And the reason why PDP won't go well is the same reason why I've been talking about. Don't impose candidate on the people. I want the people to decide the candidate of their choice. So that was what we got to the emergence of PDP. Understand? So when the light has come, darkness will disappear. That's what's happening in this place now. We are encouraging the Go channel in a short while to please come and join the fold of the progressive. It will be better for the people being in one cluster than having him in the opposition. So I told you we are going to win more councils this time, and it was shown on election day. Now I tell you that we have our strategy, we have our structures on the ground that are ready to come and support our ideology anytime, any day. Thank you, the people of Abuja. Thank you, the residents of AMAC, and thank you, the indigenous people. We, the non-indigenous people, residents, who keep supporting an ideology that will integrate them the more, and that all their vision and goals will be achieved in a short while.
Comrade Robert Ash Ogbede, AMAC Youth Leader or President, I appreciate you for being part of this program. Issues with TOPSY GIMBA.
Thank you, Chief TOPSY. It's always a delightful moment to be with you, because I know your ears are on ground, and whatever information you need, we always make sure it gets to your ears at the appropriate time. And anytime you're free to reach out to us, we'll come and discuss the policy of the government moving forward, because people need to be enlightened and people need to be aware of what's happening. And we're urging that the opposition from this day forward, they will be realistic in their ideology. Let us remain on the social media and the mainstream news overeating the polity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, That's how far we can go on the program Issues with TOPSY GIMBA. My guest was Comrade Robert Ash Ogbede, AMAC youth leader. Of course, I give credit to him because he really performed that brought about the outcome of the result that we saw at the end of the day announced, and really elected the incumbent for another set of 4 years as AMAC chairman in the person of Zaka Christopher Mekalangu. A big congratulations to him and to those who won, including the PDP, 5 area councils under the control of APC and 1 PDP. Of course, we saw many of them lagging behind to show that indeed much needs to be done so that at the end of the day we'll have a very healthy and strong political structure in the country. Many people are really saying that what we saw on Saturday is a clear indication what might turn out to be in 2027. If that's the way they see it, that means APC is costing to victory in 2027. That's just an opinion. My name again is TOPSY GIMBA. See you. Bye-bye.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed